I want to take a look at Nick Fury this morning. I have not had a chance to play with him yet. And I wanted to take a look at him and then maybe, hopefully, get a chance to test him out. So let's see what's going on here with all that. If you guys are checking this out afterwards, you're on YouTube and you're like, hey, this guy's looking at Nick Fury for the first time. Thank you guys so much for coming by. I appreciate it. Don't be afraid to hit that like button. Leave a comment down below. And, yeah, hit the subscribe button if you really think I'm super cool or whatever. So, super glad you guys are all here. I'm nervous, but I'm excited at the same time. Nick Fury, this is not the Nick Fury that I like, right? Like, this is a cool Nick Fury. The Nick Fury that I grew up with is Nick Fury Sr. So Nick Fury Sr. is the one that I am most excited about. I'm a little sad that we don't have him as a hero yet, but I still think it's super cool that he at least is an ally card. So let's check out Nick Fury. And like, I know a lot of people have played him and stuff. I have watched some gameplay, but I've not watched a ton. So we're going to go bit by bit here and just kind of check some things out, and then we'll try to update his pre-con a little bit, and then jump into a little bit of a gameplay. So I'm thinking about maybe going against, not the Abomination, Absorbing Man, but we will see. I may just throw in Batroc the Leaper and go from there. So first and foremost, we have Nick Fury himself. He is super cool looking. I like the art there. 2/2/2. Response. After Nick Fury makes a basic thwart, place one threat on the suit form upgrade. Force interrupt. When you attack, change to assault suit form. So, there's the stealth form, which is a force interrupt when you take any amount of damage. Sorry, when an enemy would attack you, this scheme instead place one threat on the activation here instead of the main scheme if there's 5 or less threat on this card. Okay? And then when you attack, remove up to 3 threat from here. This attack deals 1 additional damage for each threat removed this way. So Shayla's acting kind of funny today. Running around like crazy. Alright. Next, we have Maria Hill. So it looks like, I guess we got the back of Nick Fury's card too. Set up, put the suit form upgrade into play, just like you kind of do with Shadowcat, and change to stealth suit form is an action that I can do. So you kind of want to maybe flip down a little bit every once in a while to get back into stealth suit form, so you're not getting attacked. And then you can use the threat to kind of boost your damage and stuff. That's kind of neat. Maria Hill. When Maria thwarts, place the removed threat on your suit form upgrade. Oh, that's really neat. So it kind of boosts up what we're trying to make happen there. And then we have 2 copies of this card called Consecrated Fire, which says deal 4 damage to an enemy as attack gains range. This attack defeats an enemy. Choose. Place threat on your suit form upgrade equal to the enemy's printed scheme. Change to stealth suit form. So I can choose to do either one of those, or place threat on your suit form upgrade equal to the enemy's printed scheme. That's pretty cool, and deal 4 damage to an enemy, so it kind of either boosts what you're trying to do, or it makes you flip. That's kind of neat. And then I bet I can also, when you attack, remove up to 3 threat from here. This attack deals 1 additional damage for each threat removed this way. So we could essentially keep cycling with the assault suit form too. You're cycling that damage around. Basically, you're boosting that attack up to 7 for 2 costs, which is actually incredible. And then you potentially can get back 2 to 3 scheme threat back on here. That is super awesome, actually. Hit size of 5, hit points of 10. Nick Fury's doing pretty good. Okay. Then he's got Covert Surveillance for 1. Remove 2 threat from the scheme. If you are in stealth suit form, you may place the threat on your suit form upgrade. Otherwise, you may change to stealth suit form. This is a way outside of going down. And there's 3 copies of it, which is actually kind of nice. Of going down to Alter Ego to flip. That's pretty cool. Then we get 2 copies of Spray Fire. Choose a player. Deal 3 damage to the villain, and each minion engaged with that player. This attack gains ranged. That's actually super cool. Get past that. Retaliate damage with this attack. Plus, you're boosting up who you are. And you're doing 3 damage to basically everybody that's engaged with them. So if like somebody like Thor's in play and they've got a ton of minions engaged with them, you get to help kind of take some of that out if you need to. If somebody gets caught up with this, like Star-Lord gets caught up with a bunch of nonsense in front of him. I'm assuming, right? That's actually pretty cool. That sounds like a super helpful card. Nick Fury's Flying Car. Exhaust Fury's Flying Car. Remove 1 threat from your suit. Form upgrade. Ready Nick Fury. He has the aerial trait until the end of the round. Oh, cool. So it's a basic, it allows me to ready. So I can do lots of different things on my turn. Plus, gain the aerial trait until the end of the round. That's super hype. Safe House. I'm imagining it's an alter ego like Black Widow's. Exhaust Safe House. 2/2/1. Choose. Heal 2 damage from Nick Fury or place 1 threat on your suit form upgrade. Awesome. Next we have EM Shields. When you take any amount of damage from an attack, discard EM Shield, prevent all of that damage. That's actually super hype. Plus it's a preparation card. So you put it on the table, and when you need it, you activate it. Eye Patch Camera. When any amount of threat would be placed on the main scheme, discard Eye Patch Camera. Place up to three of that threat on your suit form upgrade. Okay. That's actually super cool. And is it a discard? Again, when the amount of threat would be placed on the main scheme, discard Eye Patch Camera. Place up to 3 of that threat on your suit form upgrade. So when a big scheme's about to hit, you can essentially just take part of that away. That's pretty cool. Even though you're in stealth form a lot and you're allowing the villain to scheme, you're still getting a chance to protect yourself. On top of that, it doesn't stop you from being able to attack while you're in stealth suit form. That is interesting. Okay. Next is Nick Fury's Watch. Exhaust Fury's Watch and remove up to 2 threats from your suit form upgrade. Generate a mental resource for each threat you remove this way. Okay, cool. So you're having to spend these tokens to potentially make more. 1 cost to potentially move up to 2 threats. So you can get 2 mental resources available to you. That's actually kind of cool. Preparation skill. This is the intelligence analysis. When you reveal a treachery card, intelligence analysis, discard intelligence analysis and remove 1 threat from the suit form upgrade. Cancel the effects of the treachery and discard it. That's pretty cool, actually. Gives you a chance to kind of take care of yourself just in case a bad treachery comes along. Which, may help me with Evil Alliance, which is a treachery. Evil Alliance is super annoying, but that does help take care of all that. So, super cool. All right. And then the last card in this kit is a Secret Agent. After you resolve the ability of a preparation card you control, remove 1 threat from a scheme to your suit form upgrade. Oh, cool. So you're essentially cycling some threat onto the main scheme. Not main scheme, you're from a scheme to... From any scheme. To your stealth suit form upgrade. So That's actually super awesome. He looks like a lot of fun. It feels like a spy in general. It feels like what I want Nick Fury to be. He's got lots of cool tech. He's got lots of cool things happening. It feels like a little bit of a blend of Black Widow, Gambit, and Shadowcat. So I'm excited to try all that out. Let's see what comes in his core kit here as well. I mean, we know Agent Coulson. We've already seen him in Black Widow. He brings in preparation cards. And Quake, essentially when you are being schemed against, you do 2 damage to a minion, which actually, it's when a minion schemes though. But still, that may not be bad, depending on what we're facing here. 3 copies of Global Logistics. I don't think I've seen this card before. I've heard about it, right? People have talked about Global Logistics. It says, exhaust 1 shield card you control. Look at the top 4 cards of the player deck or encounter deck. Discard any number of those and put the others on top and or bottom of the deck in any order. Okay. So essentially I can kind of peek what's going on. Do some disruption there. That's pretty cool. I may not use more than 1 of these in a deck. It's a tactic signing preparation card, so I would probably run maybe 1 of those in a deck. Maybe 2. Depends on how important it is for me to know what's going on in a deck that I'm playing. Informant is a preparation. I hate this art, but when a minion schemes, discard Informant. This activation removes threat instead of placing it. When a minion schemes. Okay. So again, I'd probably run 1 of those in a deck. And it depends on what I'm facing. Like for Thunderbolts, it makes perfect sense to have it in the Thunderbolt scenario. And anything else, I don't know. I have to really think about it. Intelligence. After a player is dealt an encounter card, discard intelligence. Look at each encounter card dealt to each player and the top of the encounter deck. You may swap any number of these cards. That's pretty cool. In a solo build, I don't know if I'd run a lot of these. I think this would be a lot more fun to play in a multiplayer deck game. Oh, cool card though. Prism Dust. After minion enters play, discard Prism Dust. Confuse that minion and deal 2 damage to it. That's awesome. After minion enters play. That's super cool. I like that a lot. And then, of course, Under Surveillance, which lets you add 4 to your threshold on a threat there. Nick Fury Sr. And I've looked at this card a couple of times, so it may not be that exciting to everybody else. But it is 2 thwart to attack. When Nick Fury comes into play, choose to either remove 3 threat from a scheme, draw 2 cards, or give a shield character you control a tough status card. At the end of the round, if Nick Fury Sr. is still in play, discard him. 4 costs, feels very similar to Nick Fury Jr. But still super cool. Super Spies plays a total of 3 all-purpose counters and or threat counters on shield supports and or suit form upgrades. Plays a total of 3. That's cool. If you're running Nick Fury and Maria Hill. Jema Simmons. Exhaust Jema Simmons and generate a mental resource for a tech upgrade. For a tech card. Awesome. Costs 2 less if I have a shield identity. Jeez. Pretty cool. I love the show. I'm glad to see some of these characters coming in. Leo Fitz. Exhaust Leo Fitz, search your deck for a tech card and add it to your hand. Cool. And he only costs 1 if I'm a shield person. That is awesome. And with all the tech that comes in Nick Fury's kit, that's not a bad deal. You add it to your hand. I'm curious. I don't think it is. I wonder if the quiver is considered tech for Hawkeye. Don't think it is, though. Sky Destroyer, we've all seen this before. After you play a shield card, exhaust Sky Destroyer, deal 2 damage to an enemy. Which there's lots of shield cards in his kit, so that would kind of make sense. Last but not least, we have 3 copies of Practice Plan. After you discard a preparation card you control, discard Practice Plan. Return that card to your hand from your discard pile. Awesome. So it actually lets you cycle through and bring back upgrades, some preparation cards. That is something that's super nice. There's 3 copies of that. That is super neat. Let's look at, I guess, some of the bad things for Nick Fury. Let me get this all cleaned up right here. And then we're going to kind of walk through possibly changing this deck up here in the next few minutes. So bear with me on that. Let's see. Discovered. It's a cool card. Change to Assault Suit form. If there is no threat on your suit form upgrade, this card gains Surge. Otherwise, choose to either take 1 damage for each threat on your suit form upgrade or remove each threat from your suit form upgrade. In either case, discard this card. Holy crap. That obligation really, really hurts what Nick Fury is trying to do. That is, wow. Okay. I see you, Tony. That's pretty wild, my dude. Adjust the camera just for a second. There we go. Oh no, I had it. There we go. All right. Next we've got Orion. Orion comes in with toughness. He has a 2/2 stat line. He's got 6 health. All right, well, who is this guy? Orion can have any number of tough status cards. Oh, that's so stupid. After Orion takes any amount of damage, give him a tough status card. He just stacks these tough status cards. Do you really want to try to get him down in like two swings? Clear the tough and then just knock him out with 6 points of damage. Jeez. Acquire Infinity Formula is his side scheme. After Nick Fury takes any amount of damage, give Orion a tough status card. If Orion is not in play, find him and put him into play, engaged with Nick Fury. Player. Oh my gosh. So essentially what you're doing here you really don't want this. This is bad. Take any amount of damage, this guy comes out. And this guy gets a tough status card. If he's not in play, you find him, you put him into play. So you really want to get rid of the scheme before you get rid of him. And he's just swinging for 2/2. So he's not like terrible. And he's not villainous either, so it's just, that's wild. Leviathan Soldier. 0 scheme. 2 attack. Come in with tough. After Leviathan Soldier schemes, deal 1 damage to the engaged player's identity. So he just does a point of damage whether you want him to or not. And there's 2 copies of this soldier. And last, Cold Storage. When revealed, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a Leviathan minion and put it into play, engage with you. Otherwise, take 2 damage. Cool. I don't know where. I guess if they're both in play, that's when he would just take 2 damage. That hurts a little bit. I'm still very excited to try Nick Fury out. I think he's got a lot of cool things in his kit. Let's update his deck a little bit and check some things out. So final thoughts before we jump in, and then I'll hopefully give some more final thoughts once I've had a chance to just test them out. He's just cool. I think they've done a good job of just kind of building his kit and makes it look like a lot of fun. I'm excited to try out the stealth suit / assault suit form. I'm really curious if Justice is the right thing to start off with, which I almost want to just stack a bunch of cards in there and play like a regular character and just kind of use them like Gambit, where I'm trying to get as much as I can on his suit and then just hitting as hard as I can after that. Let's see though. We'll try him in Justice at first. So we know it's in his kit, and we'll go from there. Awesome. If you guys are watching on YouTube, thank you guys so much for hanging out. I will start the next video with changing the deck up and then hopefully jumping into a match or just jumping into the match. We'll find out. But let me know what you guys think about Nick Fury. I think he's super cool, and I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts. Again, this is just a first look, so I'm just giving some basic ideas and looking through and thinking through some processes here. I'm excited to see what comes next. So, hope you guys enjoyed this.